Chris Geebus. I am a platform manager for DDC, artist, event organizer, uh, ambassador for Dr. Dunlap's, printer for Grumpy Dog Graphics, and all around good guy. You can catch my merchandise, my artwork, my slap packs at the Bubble Hive in Loves Park, as well as their soon to be open downtown Rockford location. As well as you can catch my artwork and my slap packs out at Dr. Dunlap's in South Beloit. Otherwise, anywhere on social media, you can find me at Chris Cheapest1 and hit me straight up, and I'll get my merchandise to you through there as well.
Yeah, man, that was beautiful. Man. Hell yeah. Yeah, thank you for coming back, man.
Oh man, thanks for having me.
Yeah, definitely appreciate it, man. I definitely wanted to have you back because, my first episode, I was so nervous, dude. Like, I looked at it when I was editing. I was like, dude, why am I asking those questions, man? Out of all the questions, man, I totally forgot to mention that you're an awesome artist, a fantastic artist, man.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
As you can guys can tell, man. That's the one thing I totally forgot in the first episode, dude. Right off the back, I don't know if you remember. I was like, so many artists, instead of saying, "Dude, you're a great artist,"
I appreciate it.
yeah, I definitely wanted to have you back, man, because there's a lot of things I missed that I want to talk about because I was nervous, so I wasn't really thinking too straight.
No, for sure.
Yeah, my mind was all over the place, trying not to seem like an ass, but in the end, I seemed I was an
No,
ass.
it was a blast, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you again for coming, man, and also bringing some of your DDC crew members, man. I have more
For sure.
DDC members. Come on, I definitely appreciate all of them coming
No,
on.
no problem. Yeah, no, they all had they dug it. Everybody's willing to come back anytime. Like
Yeah,
it's definitely one of everybody's favorite podcast that we've done so far. So
yeah.
because a
Thank
lot
you.
of them are that we did go to are just so formal, so I almost feel like you're in an office meeting more
Okay.
than what I'm saying, and you just make it real comfortable and chill. So,
Yeah, I mean that's the goal of every episode, man. Just try to have everybody comfortable because not every artist is actually that social. There's some that are like very introvert, like myself.
oh, for sure.
Yeah. So thank you for putting out the good word. Letting people know that it's a chill podcast because in the end, that's what I want.
No,
Chill podcast.
definitely.
Even though I might forget a bunch of things, man. Because like I said, I'm an introvert, so I'm always nervous. Even though you're back here again, I'm still nervous because
No, I completely understand. Even I have a huge social aspect, and I think it comes from when I was younger. I traveled around all over the country in different festivals and stuff like that. And one of the ways I kind of dealt with dealing with people is I kind of put myself in a surreal state where it's almost like dreamlike.
Okay.
It's like I'm not really there. And when I do that, I can socialize a lot easier with people than I can, in normal situations.
Yeah.
So, but over time, I've kind of been able to develop a way to be sociable, like super sociable, even though it's hard for me to do, and you can't really tell. I'm able to go to a lot of events, but the build up, the hour before I leave the house to
Yeah.
go to those events, in my
Yeah.
mind, are insane.
Yeah.
So once I'm out there, I'm great. But
Okay.
that lead up, man, that's hard.
Okay, yeah, that's great, man. Because usually I do before I do go out myself, man. Like the anxiety levels are like off the roof
Yeah,
sometimes.
I'll have eight excuses why I can't get out the door.
Ooh, yeah, me
You know what
too,
I'm
dude.
saying? Like,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I have to remind myself, no, 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 you need to go. You need to go.
Yeah, man. Yeah, totally understandable. Because there is times where I do make excuses, and the excuses do win. And at the end of the day, I feel like total shit because I missed out on either just a fun time or a great opportunity.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And yeah, and then due to the anxiety, that level, you know, punishes me for the rest of the night too, because then I'm like, oh man, I should not only did I miss out on a great opportunity, but I didn't get a chance to support
Yeah,
people I
yeah,
really want to support, that I
yeah,
really
dude.
care about, and or a legitimate fan of. It's not just because it's the popular thing to do, or
Yeah, man.
and that always gets me at the end of it all too. I'm like, man,
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah. Same here, man. That beats me up at night, and then doing the podcast, I realized that, I don't want to really base friendships off the podcast. I want to, I want to go to events, whoever is hosted by, like yourself, I want to go to the event, get to talk to you, and introduce myself so that way, I can invite you,
Right.
instead of just being online and be like, hey, you just want to come into my podcast and when you talk, and then that's the only time you meet.
Right. No, absolutely.
Yeah, and then that's the thing that gets me too, because it's like, like I want to support people too, but I get nervous, and then when I reach out, I feel like I'm just in a way, I'm a doucher for trying to ride their wave.
No, no, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't want to do that. I generally want people, either big or small, to come on and just talk about their art, their skills.
Definitely.
Yeah. So yeah,
Which and then you deal with those same artists that have those same issues. It definitely makes it hard to schedule artists with artists
yeah, dude.
to be able to have discussions and stuff too, because you never know what And not only are you dealing with that, but then you're also dealing with the cutting into some people's time for when they're trying to be creative,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
which
yeah.
is hard to get sometimes. Like I know, like right now for me, it's hard to find the time to work on projects. Like I can do a million things for the project,
Yeah.
but then to have that silent or that undisturbed amount of time to focus on it is hard to come by lately.
Yeah, yeah, man. That's another thing too, man. Fucking, it's hard to really schedule people, especially artists. Definitely artists, man. Because like you just said, I could be cutting into their, creativity time. Especially tattoo artists, man. Shout out the ones that did come on, Shaggy, my cousin Richard, man. Definitely these are people that took their time, so I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's
Yeah.
super dope.
Yeah. But before we get distracted any longer, man, I definitely want to thank you for making my t-shirts, bro.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, guys, definitely go check out,
Grumpy Dog Graphics.
yeah, Grumpy Dog Graphics. Get you a So how would you prefer people to like come to you for a t-shirt? Obviously, guys, I gave Chris like a drawing of mine on paper, and he managed to print it, which is I love it. Yeah, yeah. And I don't know if you guys can see the one behind me. That's another T-shirt. I definitely love it, man. Oh, I needed something new. I mean, obviously, I'm not doing it justice because I cut myself. I cut my beard and stuff. And I'm looking fugly, no haircut. But man, dude, I really appreciate. Oh my god, dude, this feels so awesome.
Yeah, no, it's I love the machine that we use for it. Like it's able to take such amazing quality of the image. Like that's the one difference in with the machine I use for a lot of other t-shirts that get made. A lot of them are screen printed or vinyl pressed, things like that. So
Okay.
you're kind of limited to what you can or can't do.
Hmm.
Mine is direct to garment machine. So it can do, I mean, I can take a photo of your face and print that directly exactly how it is on the thing, and it dyes the fabric, so it's gonna last longer than
A few
your
washes.
standard. Yeah,
Yeah.
then
Okay.
it's not gonna wash out in a few washes. It's not going to crack
Yeah.
down the line. Like after a while, vinyl and stuff will start cracking and peeling. You don't have to worry about that.
Ooh, that's
So
definitely nice, man. Oh yeah. Yeah, because I definitely did new ones because my other ones, me, when it comes to shirts, I'm a dirty person, so I always get stains and all that, and I'm always constantly washing. So for it not to crack, from all the washes, that's definitely
yeah.
awesome. Yeah, awesome too. Yeah, but what do you prefer, like physical prints of the image, or do you prefer digital?
Digital images are the best for me.
Yes.
It's one less step that I have to go through because if I can get the image at and you can contact us through Facebook and get all the specs that you need. I can let you know for the image. Um, but if you can give me those specs exactly, then I can just get to printing right away. If I have to do a lot of like, sometimes people will take a picture of a picture,
Oh, okay, yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
and say, "Can you print this?" And I can, but a lot of times I have to go in, I have to trim things, I have to try to clean them up, I have to try to defuzz them, I have to,
Yeah, yeah,
so,
because
and when I have to do all of that, I have to charge,
a little bit
a
more.
little charge on
Yeah.
top of it for preparing the file when I have to go through that many steps. I try to avoid doing that. If it's a couple of little steps, if it's just, oh, I need to fix the size of it, the file, no big deal. I
Oh,
can do
okay.
that, but when I have to do multiple steps to get it ready, I have to tack on a little bit of you know, a fee there to, because that takes time out from when I can be
Yeah,
printing. So
yeah, yeah. I figured, like digital images would be better. Because I had that happen where people send me pictures of pictures, and that really dilutes the image
yes,
a lot.
yeah.
A lot.
And then when you're taking that and then putting it on a T-shirt, it's usually turns out bigger than what the picture was. So then you can really see how fuzzy it is if you don't
Oh,
clean
okay.
it up and everything. Because now it's bigger.
Yeah,
It's when you shrink things down, it can be a little fuzzy and you don't catch it as easy.
yeah,
But as soon as you make it bigger, it's every defect is recognizable.
yeah, yeah. But guys, definitely go check it out, man. I really highly recommend, man. Because oh my god, I can't stop staring. Yeah, dude. I really love the way it feels. Feels smooth. Usually, what's it called? The vinyl, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. They feel a little bit thicker, but that makes it crack.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The vinyl. But yeah, man, this feels nice. I definitely gotta have somebody digitalize my artwork so that way it could come out a little way better. 'Cause, like I said, guys, I just drew it. Drew it on a paper and then colored which came out great, man. Shit,
Yeah. No,
nice.
it was. I mean, it really. I had very little to do with it, which made it great because you gave me a good image.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
wasn't.
yeah.
It wasn't.
Thank you, man. Yeah. Whew.
No.
And uh, do you make your own, or do you prefer, commissions when you do shirts,
I
or whatever comes your way?
yeah. I mean, I try to do. I'll launch my own. Like this is one of my own designs.
Ooh, don't.
So I don't know. It's goofy to me. It's a bunch of rabbits eating a body. I don't know why. It's just funny because rabbits.
Yeah.
But I'll come out with I put out my own shirts as well, and then I do some business shirts. I got a couple business accounts that I do shirts for. But I mean, really, it's I do a little bit of everything. So uh, some of my favorite things to do are I like doing smaller original runs
Okay.
than I do like business logos. And what I mean by business logo, like if you're uh, customs cleaning service and like just letters, like, and that's no fun to do. That's
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
come in with neat artwork or a cool picture or a really wicked design. Those are the fun ones. And usually those ones, people get 10 to 20 of those, uh, which is, I can get that done relatively quickly.
Okay.
Businesses, a lot of times they'll want, bigger runs than that, 50, and that gets tedious after a while doing the same, especially when it's not a fun design to do. I mean,
Oh.
don't get it wrong, I'll do these designs, I'll do them, and they'll be great, but they're just not as much fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I could totally understand, man. I have people always ask me, can you draw me a logo? Uh, and like you said, it's not really fun when it's plain. 'Cause when it's plain, you really don't have much to look at.
Yeah,
But when you give the creativity, like either they have it or you have it,
yeah,
that's when it's fun.
yeah, yeah. You can bring in your own stuff, and then yeah, we do designs ourselves too. And that's a whole different game.
Okay.
I charge different prices for depending on what the design is, and that's really negotiable as far as what type of design. It can be everything from just a letter logo to I just did some designs for Legally High 420. In fact, actually, this is one of their hats.
Yeah, I was gonna.
I did this logo, and then what's that little guy on the side?
Oh
I
yeah,
forgot
dude.
which side is he on. Is he on the side?
Yeah, yeah, he's
Yeah,
on that side. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. I did that. I just picked up a T-shirt that they did and a pair of boxers, which got the characters all over it.
yeah.
But they got their own brand of cones, and they just sent those out to me. I'm gonna have those pretty soon too. That have the characters on it, and
Oh.
then they um have their own strain. They just announced that they're releasing.
Yeah, dude. Cause I seen you sharing that, bro. Is that like a local business in Rockford?
I don't know exactly where they're located
Oh,
out
okay,
of,
okay.
I know they are a few guys. A couple of the guys are local, but I think they're it's a few of them located in a few different places. Um, but yeah, they just came out with their own strain, and I designed
The
the
stream.
information or
Oh, okay,
the
okay.
logo for their strain Tropicana Haze. I think
Ooh,
it's called. So my legally 420 by S Good Buds.
ooh, yeah, definitely shout out them, man. Ooh, that's
Yep.
dope.
Yeah, go check out Legally I 420. Definitely, they got a lot of really cool merchandise, like legit.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Before you leave, man, definitely send me the link, man. I'll definitely show them some love in the video.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So, um, tell me a little bit about your art, man. What do you prefer to, draw or work with? Paint, pencil, charcoal?
I'm an ADD artist. Like I mean, I am like I will bounce from one medium to the next. Like I won't even finish one picture and bounce to a different medium sometimes.
Oh, okay.
So like it really is just what I when I get hit with whatever it is in my head that I want to do, that'll be the medium I go to, and
Oh,
whatever in my head makes it work the best, because they're so different. I love comic book style,
yeah.
but I can't hit the level of realism uh, with my markers as I can with my acrylics.
Mm,
I work on them, and hopefully maybe one day I can do both. But so sometimes I'll do that, and then you can't really do marker on big canvases.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it
man.
messes tips up. It does all that. So
Yeah, dude.
if I'm in the zone for marker, and it depends on like what kind of time I have too. If I know I have all night long to not worry about anything, I'll get to painting because longer setup, longer breakdown, clean up, the whole nine. That's where I can be. I can grab my pad of paper and my markers and my ink pens and take them wherever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, and this one is this new or?
yeah, it's a newer one. I did it right at the end of 2020, but I haven't really like put it out a whole lot. I revealed it I think one other time for a show.
And it's acrylic brushes.
Yep.
Oh my god, dude.
That one's all acrylic.
Yeah, see the thing about me, man. I mean, I work with some acrylic, but it's marker, And man, the thing is, I want to work with brushes to do stuff like this. I can't really do stuff like images like that or details like that. I have to use marker. And the brushes I like to use, well, I can use only for like designs like this, to shade it
Right.
out, and
No, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, that's the only thing I could do right now. But yeah, I definitely love when people can do stuff like this with straight um brushes.
Yeah, and I mean my brush collection has gotten huge. I'm not gonna lie, like I've had no training in acrylics,
Yeah.
so it's all been trial and error. So
Oh, really?
sometimes I'll do a whole painting with the brush, like super hard, putting like, and then I'll find out like, oh, there's a brush that you just could have done that with. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, same here, man. My brush knowledge is not too good. You know, I'll probably be using the wrong brushes for different techniques.
Mm,
And that's the thing that always stumps me. So I always be leaving the what's it called, the brushes alone and just pick up acrylic markers or use my fingertips.
oh yeah,
Yeah, because to me that I can control it way better with the markers or my fingertips.
yeah. No, I can totally understand that.
Yeah.
I find myself mainly using two brushes when I do acrylic, which is mainly a feathering brush, which is your thicker, softer brush, which gives me myself, and just a liner, and then which I use pretty much like a marker for the most part, because it's a thin brush, but it's how I get the crack lines and everything like that, which is not it's like using your brush tip markers.
Yeah.
So I mean
Yeah.
it's relatively easy to control, and having that much work with markers doing the comic book thing, it makes it really easy for me to control those.
Do you code it or do you just leave it like that?
It depends, you know. Like when I did this one, and when I was finished with it, I wasn't sure whether or not I wanted to come back in and do some finer detailing to the like edges of the mirror and stuff, because it kind of felt like maybe this top wasn't finished. But then over time, I kind of just let it sit and
Do you ever
realized it
hate
was
that,
done.
man? When like you're drawing something you kind of want it to be done, but like you feel like it's missing something.
Oh, all the time. Like
Yeah.
I have to put my stuff down forcefully. I
Yeah.
always see something else I can do with it.
Yeah, same here, man. If I don't put it down to think about it, or like if I'm stuck or something, I have to put it down if I get stuck, because if I continue forcefully, I feel like I fuck it up more.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll always push that last bit, like, oh, this will look really. Oh, damn it! Why did I do that? Like,
Dude, oh my God, yeah, man. Obviously, me, I don't really work with too much canvases because of that, because I feel like I'll fuck up and I'm like, I gotta start.
well, one of the things is with that always made me afraid of paints was the inability to erase.
Oh, dude,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
but over time, I realized like that's not really true with paint. You kind of can erase
Yeah.
it, but what that really means is you have to erase usually a lot of work.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So like at this stage, if I mess something up, erase like man, that I did. There's 7, 8, 9 different layers and things of paint in there already that now I have to go back and match.
Yeah.
And how many of those were mixed because the process of
Okay,
putting them
yeah.
down and so it's I've learned that you absolutely can fix any mistake in a painting. It's just how close are you to being done with it to have to make that mistake or fix that mistake? Because especially when you're like really close to being done, you're like,
Yeah.
man, that's gonna set me back 6 hours, or and I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
I was gonna be done tonight. Like,
Yeah, because recently, man, usually I work on paper, but recently, since like the second show at the Bubble Hive, I don't know why, bro. I just been into canvases, working on my painting because my paint skills are very low, and I want to, work on it.
no, absolutely.
Dude, yeah, and recently, man, I fucked up a few paintings, and I'm just like, oh man, I had to erase it because I had to erase the whole thing because one of them I blended it. I blended it a lot. I was trying to work on my blending, and I didn't know what blending colors I used, so I had to erase the whole thing because it wasn't gonna match.
Yeah, no, I know
Yeah.
exactly what you mean.
So I was like, oh
I have
man.
a whole bin of art pieces that are unfinished and they never will be finished because something like that along the way happened,
Yeah,
or I
dude.
started and it was not coming out at all how I wanted, and I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to go over that and repair the background. And
Yeah.
so it's like I got a whole bin of stuff when I'm out of canvases, I'll just gesso the whole thing and start over.
Yeah, yeah, and then that's the thing I hate too when you do have a piece that you really like in that drawing or project. Like me, it would be the shadings. Like I hate it when do have to start all over because I fucked something up. But like some of the parts of the drawing have like the best shading I've done, and I have to restyle. Like,
Yeah, no,
uh,
absolutely.
yeah,
Or like a lot of times, like with my drawings, I won't catch something and it'll be so super awesome, but then I'll look and I'll notice like this eye is a little off.
yeah,
And I'm like,
dude.
man, am I the only one that notices that? Or because now it's all I see. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Same here, man. Oh well, I mean, there's times where I'm like, okay, this drawing's badass, and then I'll show my girl because I always gotta have that second opinion. She'd be like, yeah, man, like the nose or the eyes or the letters seem weird or far apart, and then I look at, it, I'm like, oh, now I see
yep.
it. Yeah, dude.
And other times I'll have the exact reverse happen too. Is I'll look at a picture and be like, this is horrible, and I'll put it away, and then like 2 months later I'll find it and I'll be like, damn, this is actually pretty cool. Like, I need to finish this. This is turning out really good.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. I be having that too, but that's with my drawing pieces when I draw, because those I'll sketch something out and then I'll store it
Yeah,
because I can sketch out a bunch of stuff,
yeah,
but to finish it full color detail that will take me a lot longer. So I'll sketch stuff out, put it in a drawer, and then when I really don't have nothing to draw, I'll look in my unfinished drawer and then pick out stuff.
no,
Now I'll be like, oh shit, I didn't finish this. Damn, dude. This
right,
was a good idea. How come I didn't finish it?
right,
And then
yeah,
start on it.
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
And sometimes like it's weird because like with the alien picture there, that one I sketched it out probably like 4 days before I started markering it, and when I finally got to markering it, it took me 3 days to marker it,
3 days.
but not because it took me that long. It was 3 days of only having like an hour and a half of free time
Oh,
to
okay.
okay. Well, I laid down the background, and then I went in and I did the suit, and then the final time I was able to do the face.
Yeah.
So I might go back in. Well, I know I'm going to go back in to add a couple of minor details too, really, because there's a glass helmet that goes around it.
Oh,
So I'm
okay.
going to come in with probably a white paint marker and give that the edge on the colored part of the, maybe a little reflection on it.
Yeah, dude.
Uh,
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, dope, dude. I really don't see a lot of references from people I know on Facebook, like old school stuff.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
and it's fun when I find something that enough people remember or know about that it really gets a good reaction. That one
yeah.
definitely a lot of people like that one, which was cool. I didn't realize how many people like that movie because like my son, my oldest son, he hates that movie.
Really?
He hates that
What?
movie so much. Now he's one of those people that he's really into. He likes like a really good sci-fi with
Oh,
with a really good backstory, and so this is so ridiculous,
yeah,
that
yeah,
he's
yeah.
like, man, it's just hard for him to get into. I'm like, but that's what's so great. I was like, especially like when it came out at the time it did, it was so different because every Alien movie was serious
Yeah, yeah.
and very hardcore sci-fi, and they were great. But that is what set that one apart so far.
Yeah, this one's definitely iconic to me because I remember it. The other ones, when I was little, I didn't. Obviously the other ones, I was kind of scared of, but this one I always remember. This one
Yeah.
always brought me joy.
And what was crazy is like for us to remember that one now, as being younger, and I was obviously a little bit older than you at the time when it came
Yeah.
out. But my parents, when they were little kids, this was a trading card
What? Really?
thing. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
trade,
this
but
this
yeah,
one? What?
the whole thing, the whole like that the movie's based off of. They were trading cards. They were Topps trading cards that kids
Oh,
bought and traded in like the 70s or 60s or whatever it was. I don't know
yeah.
what year exactly it was it came out, but that's where the whole everything from it came from. And those actually got pulled back at the time because the images were like you seen in the movies, the cows running through the streets burning and people being afraid and then blowing up major monuments. And that's what all the trading cards were, and they ended up getting pulled for being too
Oh,
graphic and
yeah.
at the time.
Dude,
So
that's dope. I wouldn't mind having a card, dude. That's
yeah.
dope,
So
man.
like for it to be nostalgic to us now, when the movie came out, that
Yeah.
was nostalgic to my parents or grandparents, from
Yeah.
when it came out when they were a kid. So it had that. It's gonna last forever, for at least a few more generations because you got your whole retro factor and another 10 years of those types of things coming in, and then so many generations that have already have nostalgia for it.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, that's crazy, man. Definitely cool.
Yeah, I just watched that movie again the other night too because uh, church actually threw it on while he was over
Yeah.
because I was drawing it.
Yeah, dude. Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, but when we hit that 35-minute mark, obviously, I'm gonna trim some time off because when people come, the mic went off, so when people come, I try to put everything on record right away. So, uh, yeah, guys, definitely follow Chris Geebus, man. Check him out on his social medias. Definitely go check out his screen printing, not screen printing, his shirt printing,
Yeah, for
shirt,
sure. Yeah,
yeah, shirt
graphic
printing.
design, printing.
Yeah, business on Facebook or contact him on his Facebook. Just check
Yeah,
him out. They're definitely awesome. I highly recommend, guys. I really can't explain like how much I highly recommend it
yeah.
because
No, I'm
it's
glad. I'm
dope.
glad you like. Yeah, no, the colors. I mean, it's great, and like it's really wicked because you can tell it was drawn when you look at it, but it because it's printed on a shirt, it doesn't seem that way. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
knowing because I know that outline was done in marker,
yeah, yeah.
but it prints exactly like a marker. Like
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and that's the thing that I really like, man, for real. Yeah, but yeah, man, definitely stay tuned. Me and Chris are gonna head to the smoke room and definitely chop it up a little bit more. And yeah, thank you guys. All right, let's see what I can wear today. nothing to wear, and I want to put my own design on the shirt. I wonder who I can hit up to put designs and original art pieces on my shirt. Whoa, check out the fresh shirt. But if you guys have your own designs, definitely go check out Grumpy Dog Graphics or Chris Geebus. He did an amazing job. This is exactly how I painted and or drew the design, the picture. This is actually printed on the fabric, guys. So it's stained in there. So it's definitely gonna last quite a while with washes. So let me know in the comments below, guys. Should I grab some merchandise, t-shirts? So I have my buddy, my Z buddy, C Studio Skull. Oh, yeah, guys. I definitely love this shirt. Definitely shout out Chris Jeebus. Thank you, man. I can't wait to keep ordering shirts. So definitely let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and let's get back.
Keep it rare.
Yeah, same here, man.
Oh, man. I used to drink way too much. That's why I got to keep it rare now. Because
No,
I was
yeah.
a party animal. That's my problem. Like once I get started, I'm like, I can't have a couple drinks and stop.
Yeah.
I got to drink until it's time to crash.
Okay.
Because otherwise, if I have a couple drinks and stop, that means bedtime to me. So whenever I stop, I'm going to sleep shortly afterwards.
Yeah, dude, same here, man. I mean, I never really used to drink, and then when I did go out a little bit around the neighborhood, kicking with some people, that's when I started to drink. And oh my god, dude, I don't know how people can drink, man. Oof.
It's rough. Like
So,
drinking part's fun.
yeah, the aftermath,
But yeah,
not so fun, man.
and then it only gets worse the older you get.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
used to be able to get up, like when I first turned 21, 20 years old. Freaking, I could drink all night and get up at 6 in the morning, do whatever it is I need to do. Man, now if I drink, I don't even got to drink all night, and man, it takes me 2 days to get back to normal.
Oof, yeah, dude. Oof. Yeah, what are you, beer man? Liquor?
Back and forth
Back.
depends on what I'm doing for the night. Like if I try to just pace myself throughout the night, I'll have some beers, you
Yeah.
know. Then, but if I'm only gonna be out for a short amount of time, you know, I'll do some shots and
Yeah.
maybe a mixed drink.
Yeah, I don't know why me. I can't really drink too much beer because I get full. I
Yeah,
shit you
no,
not.
no, absolutely. Beer definitely makes you full.
Yeah, dude, and yeah, if I know I'm gonna get fucked up, which is rarely, yeah, I'll definitely drink some alcohol because it goes down quicker and gets me drunk faster.
Yep, yep. I always had that problem though. Is like once I get to a certain point of drunk, I don't taste it anymore, so I can't keep track of like
Yeah, dude. Oh,
how much was this? I don't remember.
yeah, and then I mean, I would hit that point where I couldn't taste it no more, but then after that stage, there's that whatever I drink tastes like alcohol, dude. I could drink some orange juice. That shit would taste like alcohol to me. Ugh,
Yep.
ugh. Yeah, but yeah, man, Chris, but I totally forgot, man. Do you have any events or anything you're working on or
Oh yeah,
showcasing?
absolutely. Like one of the things we got coming up here soon, it's all a music thing, but it's gonna be really fun. September 18th at Pig Iron Pub in Beloit. We're having a big show with a bunch of our DDC guys. The hip hop thing are crossing over, and they're gonna go do some music in between some hard metal sets.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I seen that post, man. So it's gonna be a cross of different things or just two type of
the
things.
two types of things,
Okay.
and they'll feed off each other. Hopefully they'll be able to build some crossover songs out of it. Would be really cool. I can't say that will or won't happen, but it would
Yeah,
be cool if it does.
yeah,
But I mean,
definitely
this
cool.
it's a start. To be able to start blending the genres and shows, I think would be really great.
Yeah,
It's just a matter of doing them to where all of the fans can embrace it and appreciate it together. Because not everybody is a fan of both genres.
yeah.
So just finding that right pocket and doing it the right way. I think.
And you said the 18th and in Beloit.
Yep. September 18th at Beloit.
When does it start?
7 p.m.
7 p.m.
Yeah, the $5 cover charge,
Hmm,
which definitely be worth it, especially for that. Be go throughout the night, tons of music. Like I want to say it's 5 or 6 metal bands. Marks of Grey, I want to say are playing Faith in Vain. Don't Be Comfy. Uh, and a few others. I'm sorry if I can't remember everybody's name. I don't have a flyer right in front of me.
Yeah.
Uh, and then some of our guys. We got Dre Skrull is gonna. He's been on the podcast. He's gonna be out there performing. Jay Church is gonna perform. He's gonna perform with a buddy of ours named Fly Jones. Really great guy. Uh, really good with the bars, high energy. Another one of our guys named Star. He's gonna come out. He's a good kind of crossover guy.
The last two did you mention? Are those people in Rockford? Or
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Well, Star isn't.
Oh,
Fly Jones is, but Star is down in Mendota actually.
oh, okay. Okay.
He's about an hour south of here. And then finally, Stowe Diodone, which is one of our guys. He's actually also the lead singer for Don't Be Comfy, but he also does hip hop as well too. So his energy is about energy. I can't wait to see him. I haven't seen him perform in a while. He took a break from doing hip hop to work on Don't Be Comfy, and during that process, his computer crashed and he lost a bunch of music. And so it's been a while since we got to see Stone and Unknown come back and perform.
Dude, losing shit on a computer is the worst feeling,
Mm-hmm.
man.
No, definitely.
Especially if it's something completed that you didn't upload somewhere else where it can be saved. Dude, the the anger. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I've lost whole like portfolio full of
Ooh, really?
artwork. Yeah, like just
Oof.
devastating.
Yeah.
It makes you sit back and so like I mean he stepped back for a while because like I say it makes you step back and be like man do I really want to build all that back up again?
Yeah. No, I definitely feel it, man.
It makes you question it, but you feel the passion for it when you
Yeah.
come back.
Yeah, that's true, man. Yeah, that's what's up, man. Because I definitely had to take a break when I couldn't figure out the uploading, man. That was the same time around when I started the podcast. That's when I split the episode in two
Yeah, yeah.
because of the uploading problem. But it wasn't the computer, it was me. I just didn't know what I was doing.
No, I totally understand. Well, my editing skills have come so far in just a small amount of time because like man, the first couple things I edited were so bad, so bad.
But the thing is that I like about it, even though it is, embarrassing, my stuff is when you do grow, you look back at it and you're like, wow, I grew.
Yeah,
In some ways or whatever, you change it up a little and like you don't really realize it when you do it, right? But like a few episodes or videos in, like, oh wow, I'm glad I did that.
that's definitely one of the things that current technology in modern times really has something that the past didn't have as easily, which is to be able to document your progress. I
Yeah,
mean, if you didn't really sit down and document your progress, it, who knew how far you came? You know what I'm saying, or whatnot. Now, like you can it's like 3 years ago is hell. I don't even got to look it up. Facebook does it for me now.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, dude. Hell yeah, bro.
like oh
Every
shit,
year.
yeah, that was really cool back then. Like, man, that was I can do a lot. I've done a lot better since that pretty good picture, but that was a good one. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah, dude, for real, man. Because there'll be times where Facebook or my Google, what's it called? Google Photos,
yeah, yeah,
they'll be like, you did this that many years ago. I'm like, oh wow. Yeah, sometimes it'll be me or like a drawing because I always did either or. I was like, oh wow, I definitely improved in some things. I'm just like, wow, the change,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, definitely. That's always good. I always see people now they post up to like the picture they did 3 years ago. Did they redo it now?
And that's good, and that's a thing too is like to record your process because that's why I started this. At first it was to record my process. Because I would always get compliments here and there. About like my drawings and stuff. Like how do I do that? I'm like, One day I see somebody I used to work with, record his stuff, and then I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Months later or years later, and then that's when I picked up the camera. Okay, I got to record my stuff now.
No, absolutely.
And that's another thing, bro. I don't think we got to talk that you have a YouTube.
Yes, yes. The DDC platform is what is the YouTube we go off of.
Yeah.
So yeah, YouTube DDC platform.
Yeah, I know you don't have too many videos, but I definitely love the videos you do have, bro. Fucking, I was gonna say, man, yeah, you should definitely start recording either V vlogs or V vlogs or definitely your art skills. That would be dope.
Yeah, thank you. No, I've been trying to do it more and more, and I've got some stuff filmed.
But
I
like,
have some.
yeah, I know you record it, but like, and post some of it on Facebook. But you should also do it on YouTube. Have like full lengths and shit. You know, that'd be dope.
Yeah, I thought about doing much wider range, but I'm still kind of getting used to exactly where my comfort zone is at in these videos. Like I'm getting more comfortable with it.
Yeah,
Uh, but
cause
I always feel awkward when I'm talking on camera. So
right.
like this I can do.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
like when I'm doing artwork or I'm focusing, like I feel awkward. Like I've tried it and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna use that because that's just
Weird, right?
yeah.
Or
And then I've tried the like talking over it afterwards, and then I feel even weirder because I'm like, who the hell am I talking to? I mean, I know I'm talking to the audience, but like right now, who the hell am I talking to?
oh
Like,
my god, bro, I love this man. Cause same here, man. Ugh, like don't get me wrong. In my videos, you hear me talk throughout or it like on top of the video, you know. But dude, I when I hear it, bro, I cringe so hard because I'm like, who am I talking to? I bet like I react the way I think people react when they'll see it.
right?
You
Yeah.
know, like you know, and and that's why I also started the podcast, man. Because you know me, like when I did do my art videos, I felt like they weren't really that good, man. When you compare it to like people around the whole YouTube, man.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, no, it's that's one of the things that's really cool about art is although you'll always compare yourself to
yeah,
other artists. Art is a trigger of the eye. I mean, and not to be bogus in any way, because I don't mean it, because art is all personal. But I see artists that don't have the skill that you have, that I have, that many other artists I do have, that sell like crazy.
yeah,
And I'm like, is there marketing? Is it there? Some people it just even though it's not as high level in skill of say realism or perspective or proportion, it's the raw emotion that they're broadcasting across it. So even though I compare myself to these really great artists, a lot of times those ones that are super like there's not as much emotion in it as much as the picture's really cool, but it doesn't, it's just a really cool picture of a monster
yeah.
or a demon or whatever it might be. It's not usually those ones that broadcast that emotion that have that in depth realism to them. Not that all some do, but
Yeah. Yeah, man, and to tell you the truth, man, I be feeling like, cause when I go to events and stuff, I'm like, damn, dude, like, cause I never knew Rockford was like how it is now, or like how it was with the community really being arty, you know.
yeah.
And man, dude, when I do stuff, I'm like, holy shit, bro! Look at all this talent, bro. There's no way I can compete. There's no way nobody's gonna want my product or my skills because we got high talented people like you and fucking Jay Church, Dre Skrilla, my cousin, fucking Shaggy. Oh, whew.
And it's funny because every one of us sit there, at least the ones I know, do sit there and do the same thing about other artists that we see in the city. Like, oh my god, like this artist is amazing. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah,
this collective, like this is epic proportion. Like we're never gonna see that.
yeah,
But
especially 317. 317. Oh man, sorry about that. The oil was kicking in. But fucking yeah, 317 collective, definitely dope, man. I definitely want to check out their events. I know they're having like illumination.
yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep, yep. 317 is definitely cool people. I like
And
it. Up.
and uh and that's what I think, but when I really do put my foot out there, it's really kind people like yourself. Big Monster, fucking my dude out there in Roscoe, all kind people.
Yeah, I think 99% of the art community, I'd say, is very receptive of each other. Uh, I don't really know of, it's I hear of beefs in music. I hear beefs in, what I'm saying, businesses and even in tattooing shops or,
Yeah.
whatever. you don't hear that with artists.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
you don't really hear, oh, this artist. Mostly what happens, like I'd say 99% of the art scene is very receptive to each other. Not because the other 1% are assholes. It's just a lot of them are like we were speaking about earlier. They're very inclusive to
Mm,
themselves.
yeah, yeah.
Like they're not very social. They stay. They'll be out for certain events and stuff, but it's rare to see them.
And I do feel like a douche too, man, because fucking or jackass when step out, because I'm quiet, like it's hard for me to be open with everybody, like for me to be open how I'm with you, it has to be a one-on-one, and then after a while, when we're out, I'll I'll be one on, I'll be like open with you, and then people see that, and then. But if it's like a whole group or a group I gotta, be myself with, it's kind of hard because not everybody's gonna appeal to and stuff.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Or I might come off weird to one person in the group, but like somebody else might get me.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm going to the mural pop-up mural event tomorrow as
yeah,
well. So, and
yeah.
I'm sure this will be too late for this to come out to go to that, but that's but
Yeah.
but
I might capture some footage, man. The thing is, I just be getting nervous. Like, who's that guy?
yeah. No, for sure. I mean, I'll be out there. Vic will be out there. That's actually like 3 blocks from my house.
Oh yeah, no, because I passed through it today actually.
Did you?
Yeah, yeah. Helping my sister's husband uh, go down below to take his car, and then I was looking out the window, and that's where I saw it at the record store. I've never been there, but I always seen it in Love's Park.
Yeah,
That's definitely dope, man. Hell yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's like 3 blocks from my house. So
Have you
I'm
been there?
definitely. I've been in there a couple times, and not a whole lot, but a couple times. I mean, I haven't had vinyl in a long time, so I need to start getting some because I just came up on some really good records recently. Some
Do you, do
came
you,
up to MF Doom's instrumentals.
oh, really?
Yeah, they're really dope.
Oh, that's
So
dope.
yeah, buddy of mine found them.
Do
Hit
you,
me
you
up.
do you have the
So
record thing, or do you put them on the DJ spinning
I
thing?
don't have any record players anymore. I used to have both back in the day when I was younger, but I haven't. But now I'm gonna have to get one though, because now I got those. So,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
thought about seeing if Vic wanted to use them for the Soy Doom show in October.
Oh yeah, that'd be dope, dude.
So,
Yeah, I'm working on this. It's trying to be like an MF Doom.
oh yeah, no, that's wicked. I caught that out the corner of my eye. I seen that. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to dry because, dude, I mean, this stuff is cool. This is air drying clay.
Okay.
I don't use the oven drying because if you put the can in there,
Oh
obviously I
yeah, for
pop them.
sure.
I pop them, but the thing is, the paint's still in there. So the heat and the paint, I
Oh
don't
yeah,
think.
I'm sure it wouldn't go well.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So air drying, guys. If you want to fuck around and do something like this, man, definitely cop some air drying clay. I forgot the name of it, but it has air drying on it.
Nice.
Yeah, but yeah, waiting for that to dry up. It takes about a few days, depending on the thickness. I was just gonna paint the silver.
Yeah, that's always a hard part for me. That's why I love airbrushing, but it's always hard for me because the preparation time uh, and the
Damn.
waiting time in between certain things is like, man, so long. I guess so. Like,
Yeah, I thought I had my airbrush machine, but like, I used to airbrush, man, but I put it down because that shit was way too expensive to paint. Oh my god.
the paint's expensive, and then like for me, like again, like I said, like I'll spend. It seemed like I spent more time setting up the picture and what I was gonna paint and cleaning the machine and everything than I did actually painting.
Like prep and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
So, and I still use it, and I'm decent with it. I've done bike tanks, and I've done stuff at festivals. Like I've done wheel covers, but it's definitely not my favorite medium.
Yeah, yeah, that's dope, man.
I
Hell
I
yeah.
do like using it um to accent other pictures and stuff.
Oh yeah, like
So
the little details and stuff.
yeah, like
Yeah,
that's good, especially if you're doing just like some spotlights, in like a crowd or camera flashes, little things like that.
yeah,
They're great
like
for.
little mist and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I've been seeing
something that you don't, you know,
wouldn't
too
be.
small for a blast cam, but like
You work with spray can?
No, yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah,
Oh, shit. That was
yeah.
dope. Yeah.
I got some. We got a board at the house that Dre and I were messing with a few weeks back, actually. That was actually a night as crazy as it was a night we were drinking, so it ended up just being a whole bunch of jumbled whatever. But
Yeah, it's definitely fun though, man. I one of my friends that cut hair in his basement, I did a little bit of spray painting. It was hard, man, to tell you the truth. I don't know how people can do it, but practice, I can see why.
yeah,
See how and stuff.
yeah, and I'm in no means like he's Skrill is much better with like lettering than I am in
Oh
all
yeah, dude, his
mediums. Like
letters
his lettering
wicked,
is
dude.
wicked. Uh, but I'm I'm nowhere near like that with spray cans at all. I mean, I'm decent, but I'm not. I wouldn't try to compete with anybody. I wouldn't,
Yeah,
like I don't have a name out there
yeah, same here, man.
in the
Fucking
scene of spray cans. Like,
but yeah, the reason why I suck though is like another reason too is because my lettering in graffiti sucks. Mine's very basic, like bubble or well, I'm better in bubble than like stone or like pointier. You
right.
know?
Yeah, I have a very cartoony
Yes.
lettering style. Like
Yes, sir.
it looks like it would be something like I always do really neat colors and shit like that. I feel
Yeah.
like, but it always definitely looks like something that would be like on a cartoon or open for a Saturday morning kid show. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I feel like all my shit always comes out kind of cartoony, but there's times where I kind of it's like a mixture, you know. But yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely feel you. But man, you say your, what would be your favorite medium? You would say, or like,
My favorite medium's always probably going to be pen and ink.
ink.
That was my very original first love. I fell in love with one. I wanted to be a comic book artist when I was really young. So I would I would copy. I could never get into tracing, uh, and which is what people used to tell me to do all the time. But I couldn't. I couldn't do it. Like I don't. Nothing against it. Just I couldn't. For some reason, it just didn't work for me.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't draw the pressure I wanted to, or just didn't feel right. So I would always copy. So right away, I got into inking even more so than penciling. Because I would copy what I would see. So I would do it in pencil, but I did it in the style of inking it rather than building it from the base up with the pencils.
And when you say inking, what do you mean? Like pen ink?
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pen ink. I mean, there's obviously a few numbers of way to do it, but I've done a few pictures with brush ink or ink and brush, but definitely pen and ink
Oh,
is
okay.
I way prefer. And I like brush tip when I'm inking minor brush tip, but like the small brush tips, uh, smaller than like your Copic markers, definitely your liner tips.
Yeah, that was always my worst pen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always smudge it wrong, or I
Oh
go
yeah,
too dark.
yeah. Smudging is. I still have the issue with smudging. Like I've gotten to try to this new rule where, like I said, I have a hard time putting something down and coming back to it later. When I try to do it now, I'll pencil it, then I'll ink it, and I'll try to give it overnight. Even if it's I finish at 2 in the morning and I get up at 8 in the morning to finish it, I'll give it overnight before I go back to erase it.
Yeah.
Because if I don't, I always end up something wasn't dry or I rushed my hand across it or and I'm
Yeah.
like, man,
Yeah, now and that's another thing with me, man. I'm not really patient. I hate when something has to dry. But that's what I'm also trying to work on too. I mean, it's not my best, but I'm learning little by little, letting stuff dry. Might have to fuck around and go back with pen. 'Cause
mm,
it's definitely beautiful, man. Like pen work.
yeah, no, yeah, I love because my favorite, of course, is comic book style,
Yeah.
and classic comic book style. I'm not a big anime style
Yeah.
in my artwork. I don't. I've always liked the bigger details. One thing I've always loved about anime when I was younger, though, was like the detail to the backgrounds
Yeah.
was always so amazingly impressive. It was always way overdone than the American cartoons. But back then, the American cartoon characters were more detailed than a lot of the anime characters coming out. Because a lot of those at the time were they weren't chibi like, but they were definitely uh, softer, detailed characters. Ranma one half,
Mm.
things like that. That's why I always really got into like Ninja Scroll back then. Ninja Scroll was always a dope anime because it was detailed.
Yeah.
I liked it. So
Yeah, and nothing talking about comics, man. Because I'm definitely a superhero anime fan. I mean, I grew up with both, and cartoons. Definitely love cartoons, bro. Fucking. Um, and I was thinking of the idea, but like, would you ever consider doing a comic thing again?
oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there.
I talk to people about it relatively often, and really it's a matter of finding the right team. Like I got a buddy of mine, Travis Lake, who he writes RPG games now.
Ooh.
He's a great writer, and we've worked together before. I used to publish one of his comic books, and we've kicked around the idea of putting something together. But he's super busy.
Ha- do you have a book? Have you ever?
Oh, I've got many books.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I started out and created a company called Blackheart Comics, and we published in total, I want to say it was 7 books at one point
And
that were all either written or drawn by me or close people that I was friends with. Travis was one of them. He had a graphic novel out
holy shit!
that was drawn by a couple different artists that were involved in that one. Um, I wrote a few. I have one that has a couple of tattoo models that are actually the basis for the characters inside, and
Holy
I got
shit!
their actual photos and everything, which is Leah Jung and Shonda Mackey, also known as Queen of Blood on Instagram. Uh, they were in my comics back then. Yeah, and I used to travel the comic book circuit, doing the comic book conventions and everything. That's how I learned how to do events and like really, because
Yeah.
I worked festivals as a vendor from the age of 15 to like 25, 30
Yeah.
area. And I always did it off and on ever since then for my aunt and uncle when they would need me to do certain festivals. But then I started doing comic book conventions, and I've always been a comic book fan ever since I've been like 8.
Yeah.
So I've read comic books. So that's always been my favorite medium of all time because it would tell you the story and show you the pictures. So you could you got to know not only like in a regular novel where you can know what's inside the characters' minds and how they feel, you also could see it expressed on these characters. As you know, so you got the inside of their head like you did in a novel, but then you also got the visual like you did with a film, all in one. So comic books to me are the greatest storytelling medium of all time. It's always going to be my favorite.
Yeah,
So,
because well, they're not fully based, but they're based on movies now.
no, yeah.
With-
I waited a lifetime to. I mean, I was a comic book fan when you couldn't get comic book merchandise, or if you did, you didn't tell anybody about it.
Oh, really?
I have like some of my closest friends that I've been friends with ever since we were like in middle school. We became friends because one of us seen somebody else have a comic book, or somebody was sketching a character somebody else recognized from a comic book that nobody else would know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like back then, if you were drawing Thanos, nobody knew who Thanos was.
yeah, yeah,
We were reading Infinity Gauntlet, at the back of the school, and
yeah,
nobody had any idea what the hell that was.
yeah,
Nobody cared who Iron Man was back then. He was nobody. Like it wasn't until the movie came out that people knew who this character was. So for us, it was like this great revelation when it came to films and started becoming good movies because they had some bad comic book films,
oh, yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
But when they started becoming really good, like films, and then Marvel, who geniusly, did it based off the comic books and this continuity like never seen before in cinema. Like it was an amazing thing to see, and also like a really scary thing to see because this thing has been so personal and so private that pulled all of us outcasts together
yeah, yeah,
is now like everybody knows what it is and everybody thinks they know even everybody
yeah,
really
yeah,
thinks they know like you've only seen the movies
yeah,
you don't really
yeah. No,
know what you're
yeah,
talking about actually. I'm not trying to be a jet but you know what I'm saying
yeah,
like you know honestly, I'm gonna have to be a dick because you don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't got much to talk, but I definitely, do follow up the lore. I don't own no comics because I didn't really know what comics was until like I was way older, and but I was always a fan of superheroes and stuff because I would see them on
No, for
TV
sure.
and then the television series and stuff,
Yeah.
and I definitely loved. All that stuff.
Yeah. No, I mean, and what made it great, I mean, you don't have to read the comics to be a great fan of things. It's the only people that bother me are the ones that try to argue
Yeah, right. And they don't know the
that don't
lore.
know what they're talking about.
Yeah,
They'll be like, "Oh no,
because they see it
this
based off the
happened,"
movie.
yeah, and then you're like, "No, that's not what anybody's talking about in this little group or whatever." We're talking about the well,
Yeah,
and
no,
then
I know, I
and
know,
then they'll continue to argue like,
I know
"Well,
what you're
like,
talking
dude,
about.
like,
I've been there, done that, bro. And obviously, like I said, I never owned the comics, so I don't know the specifics. But I always followed up, try to find the best information since I don't really have the books. Because I do have a comic book. One of them is like I think it's DC, and it's like the Flash and Wonder Woman fighting off. I think Starro. I shit you not. I got it in the subscription box. I forgot that one company, but they sell you merchandise, from like
oh,
video
like,
games and
yeah, like
stuff.
Loot Crate and
Loot
stuff like,
Crate. There you go. All right.
yeah,
Yeah, so I got a comic book, and I definitely thought it was cool, and I used that to like kind of help me build my own character.
no, definitely, yeah, no, the Starro's a great character, like, and
And
I don't know if you've seen the new Suicide Squad,
hell
but
yeah, bro, that was
yeah.
badass. Obviously, I didn't know too much, so I didn't really say much until I gathered all the material. So when I do watch it, I know what I'm looking at.
I actually own Suicide Squad issue 1 from the very first original run.
See, like if you tell me that, I really don't know how valuable that is. So
It's I mean it's no Superman #1 or
okay, yeah, I know, yeah,
it's not,
like something like that. I do know because yeah,
but
but
it's one of those I
like
mean it's got value to it, but I mean it's more of the factor of like that's how does the lore of Suicide Squad goes way back,
oh yeah, yeah,
So like a lot of people don't realize how old it, but they've always been a book that's been it would have a run and then be taken off the shelf for a while because the whole concept, I mean, just like you see in the opening of the movie, like so many characters die
yeah.
throughout this thing, so they can only do it, it's not a constant ongoing, and then it is transformed into a much more. Ever since the first Suicide Squad movie came out, it started to transform into a much more mainstream version,
What you
which
how did the first one make you feel?
wasn't a fan.
Dude,
uh,
shit you not, I didn't know what the Suicide Squad was, and I knew that it wasn't really like it was a visually. I liked it. The story did not.
Yeah, no, the story was not well, and then some of the character representations were just because, like, up until that point, Harley Quinn had never been on the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah,
just used her because she was a popular character.
yeah, yeah. I
After
would
that, in
imagine.
the comics, because of that, all of a sudden she became a Marie. So they suddenly went to this mainstream period for a while with Suicide Squad, where all the characters just were living except for like one or two,
Hmm.
which was really a big letdown after being, I've been reading it since like it came out in the 80s. So I've been reading it since then. And it was always about third tier characters nobody cared about anymore getting murked, like trying to
Yeah,
fill out this secret mission. And all of a sudden now everybody's surviving and becoming these villains are becoming heroes almost. And then to have this, and it would waver because fans would be like, "Come on," and they would try to walk that line of keeping it mainstream. Having this movie come out this way though really was a great
oh
representation of
yeah,
like
dude.
how it's
Yeah, that
supposed to be
I
done.
recommend that one, bro. That one
Yeah,
was like when I saw it. Don't get me wrong, I was definitely nervous for every character because like if it's a good character. that I like. I definitely don't like them dying.
No, for sure.
But the way they did it, bro, it was definitely cool, you know. And dude, the one that shocked me was Boomerang. I was like,
Oh yeah,
what?
yeah. No, that got me too. Actually,
And that's what hooked me in the movie. I was like, okay, I see what they're doing. You know, they're not scared now to
yeah.
to really get into it. You
Well,
know.
and James Gunn, what makes him so good at what he does is because he did Guardians of the
Oh
Galaxy,
yeah,
so he's really good at taking obscure characters and bringing them to the screen. But one of the things he does, even though with Guardians of the Galaxy he changed who that team was, he took these pre-existing characters and really used their comic book character for their basis. He didn't try to be like, oh, this is James Gunn's version of these characters. He just brought these characters out of the pages
yeah,
onto the screen,
yeah, yeah.
and let that be the guide. And that's what I think is the magic of those characters. Like that's why they've been loved by fans for so long. Instead of changing, just bring those characters out and let the rest of the world that hadn't seen them see them. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's kind of what he does.
Yeah, cause he's very talented man when he does his movie, dude. Or like he does a lot better job than most.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. He's on my top list of comic book directors for sure.
yeah. Yeah, cause I almost forgot to ask. You know, when you're reading comics and the movies came out, which one was your favorite? Like, which one was like, no way? Yeah.
Um,
I
well,
never.
that's a tough call because I'm old. So
No, I mean, yeah, because I've never, obviously, I never seen the original old ones where they just used cosmetics. I never seen
yeah,
those.
see, like it never got exciting at all to see comic book movies until the X Men came out.
Yeah.
When the first X Men movie went to the theater, like my brother, the, this guy, he was so excited to see it. And of course, there was a line. It was one of the earliest times I remember there being a line to get into a movie,
Yeah.
And as soon as they opened the doors, he started pushing little kids out the way. And like I was like, dude, but I mean, it was that exciting
Yeah, yeah,
to see
bro.
this movie, and that was the first time that it really became like, wow, these movies can be taken seriously. They're not just a joke. They're not just campy.
Mhm.
And
And that's dope, man.
it's been a wave of just uphill since then. Hit or miss here and there with a few.
Yeah.
But then,
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I always, for example, Spider Man was mine because I would see him on TV, the
mhm.
cartoons and stuff. And then when I heard about or the movie was came out, I was like, holy
Yeah,
shit, that's
Spider Man was the level up. It
yeah,
went from X Men being this amazing thing, then you had some misses, and then Spider Man came out, and it was like, holy shit again. And
yeah,
then as the Iron Man and all the Avenger movies came out, the individual movies came out, those were great.
oh yeah,
But the next one that really solidified that this was something different was that first Avengers movie. That
bro.
first Avengers movie coming together was just like, wow.
Dude, I remember like people are like, no way, the Avengers. I was like, you don't know what the Avengers are, you know, because like I would, like I said, I never had the stuff, but I would always, watch the cartoons or just reference some of the cartoons. I follow this guy on YouTube, bro. He does his YouTube is like he explains comics and just
Yeah,
talks about
yeah. I watch a dude like that now because I used to have subscriptions to my comics, but as I had gotten older, just I mean, I still get comic books now, but I can't get as many comics, and I just have the time to read all of them. So sometimes when I miss a certain storyline that I can't go back and get, I'll watch this guy named Comic Story and
it. I think
fill
that's who I
myself in.
follow.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah, fill me in on a storyline. I'm like, all right, cool. Now I can go and I can pick up issues again. So
yeah, dude. Getting the
yeah,
munchies.
sorry about that.
That's okay, bro. Shit, I hope everything's good.
Yeah,
Good,
no,
good,
it's
good.
absolutely yeah. No, everything that I'm waiting for to happen is all good news stuff. So the phone call that I'm waiting to come in, it's just one of those like it's basically it's a reference phone call. So if a person calls, I need to be there to give a reference for Grumpy Dog Graphics. So
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah.
and if they call and I give that reference, and that'll be really good for the company. So
Yeah,
if they don't call, then I don't
I
know
hope
how.
they call, man. Shit, and I hope they're watching so they can call.
Right.
But yeah, man, comics, man. the reason why I bring the whole comic things up, man, because I would love to be like in a comic event. I mean, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I'm eligible. I really don't know how
Oh,
to do it.
absolutely, absolutely. Like I tell artists all the time, like, because when you go to a comic book convention, you got to look for the right ones. Because some comic book conventions, usually the smaller ones, only sell comic books, back issues and hard to find issues, stuff like
Oh,
that.
okay.
But then the bigger ones, usually the ones that you see that have like celebrity guests and stuff like that, they have companies come set up there. I mean, like a lot of times, like Marvel will be there, DC will be there. Some of the other companies, Dark Horse. Uh,
Yeah, but
but
I was thinking like something like maybe the community or something. You know?
well, they have uh, this thing where not only do they have all of these big name artists, but there's this whole area in these conventions called Artist Alley,
Uh-huh.
where you can just be an artist and have stuff there. Now, admittingly, most of your stuff that sells good there is all comic book themed, and it doesn't even have to be Superman themed or anything. It can just be a really cool sci-fi picture, battle in space,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
a
yeah.
really cool alien. It doesn't have to belong to anything. Uh, Admittingly, people do their own interpretations of tons of characters because those do go the best at
Yeah,
comic book
yeah,
conventions. Of course, you're gonna go meet the guy playing Superman. It's cool to buy an art piece of Superman and have him sign that and take a picture with them,
yeah, yeah,
to
yeah,
release it, which is always great for the artist, especially when the customer remembers to tag the artist.
yeah, yeah,
You
man.
know,
Yeah, and yeah, man, I think that would be cool just to see. I mean, like I said, something community, because I mean, unless we could do something big, that'd be fucking awesome. Because I just want to see other people's, if they draw or make comics or have idea for comics, I would love to see
yeah,
something like
I
that.
did comic book conventions
I
in
know,
town
yeah,
too. So I mean, yeah, it's one of my favorite. Like I love comic book conventions. Like I remember the first time I walked into one, I was like, man, this is what has been missing out of my life. Like I
yeah,
had no idea this is what was missing.
yeah. I always wanted. I mean, a comic book or a Comic Con or something like that. I always wanted to go somewhere where I can see my favorite stuff.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also, man, yeah, I like to think of like random superheroes or people I know. Yeah. Because I did Vic, but I think it's time for another like I don't know what they call it. To restart the origin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That reboot.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Reboot. Yeah. I don't want to keep putting Vic in speedos. Shout out Vic though, man, fucking a great guy, bro.
No, definitely.
Because then that's one thing I love about superheroes, just the idea of somebody going up and beyond.
Oh,
Um,
no, definitely.
you know,
It's something that the world is legitimately short on right now.
yeah.
Like, I'm gonna start putting out this award again that I had put out a little while ago. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's okay. I'll take that one. But I forgot what I was
I forgot what.
saying.
I thought that was the call. No.
It's kicking in. It's kicking in.
Yeah. Yeah. Superheroes short on the world.
Oh yeah, in the real world, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I used to have put out this award, and it was after my brother had passed away a long time ago. But he always had this theory where people get too many awards for just being a regular person. Like you shouldn't get awards because, like, he would see people get awards for like, oh, this person walked people across the street one day, and the city's saying thank you. Be like, you don't get an award for that. Like, people should just do that.
Yeah.
So he always kind of had this higher standard of what he looked at people that deserved awards for. And to me, I kind of incorporated that into my concept of there being a short amount of heroes. So, uh, excuse me, uh, I named the award after him as Rob Vanderleest Award for being excellent to each other. So, uh, people would do things like take it upon their own time to go out and help in tornado relief or
Mm.
whatever, not for the exposure, not for the this or that. And that's what I'd give these awards to. And I haven't done it in quite a few years, but I definitely want to bring it back around because it's nice to be appreciated when you're not doing it to be appreciated.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely be cool, man. I would love to win an award, man. hopefully. um, yeah, cause yeah, man, I definitely want to give to the community, man. I feel like I really haven't, like contributed shit, And it's not because well, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When I was young, I didn't really know what the hell community was.
Oh no, definitely.
But when I have, lately, I see how like welcoming it is.
No, definitely.
And then that's something I feel like I missed. You know.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a great thing to hang on to, and no matter where you find it, because I mean, a lot of people I think sometimes confuse what that means. A lot of times people just think community means oh my neighborhood, and although it does mean that in certain ways to certain people, there's other things like for me, okay, my community is also the comic book community, it's also the music community, it's also the art community, and I focus on that a lot because I move all the time. Like I'm very nomadic. Like sometimes out of situationals, and sometimes just because when I'm in one place for too long, I become stagnant,
Hmm.
and I don't like that. So we've moved often. So I've never stayed in one place to build that neighborhood around. Not that I've destroyed it while I was there,
Yeah.
but I didn't per se do anything above and beyond extra in that neighborhood. Uh, and that's not because I didn't care. I didn't stay there long. So it definitely means not just the area that you live, but the things that you contribute to the art community, especially going out and being in the art scene now and getting your pictures out there and things like that. And another thing that the world is short on right now is joy, with there being a lack of heroes in the world, and art fills that gap. So it's definitely a necessity.
And yeah, I totally know what you mean. Yeah, when I say community, I mean like like an art community, dance community, DJ community. Uh, yeah, because yeah, if I wanted to change my neighborhood, I would say I would change my neighborhood. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, my neighborhood's right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, because as you see, man. Oh, no, wait, you didn't see before, but I used to have giant trees, man. It looks a lot different what it used to. Like I think like last year or so.
Oh, I believe it. They've done a lot of work over here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
my father-in-law lives just on the other side of my uh, sister-in-law that owns the bar right there in the corner of Kish.
Oh, Kishwaukee?
Yeah,
Oh,
the
okay.
TNTs now it's called.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, my father-in-law lives like 4 blocks behind that, and right behind the factory over there.
Oh, dope. Yeah,
I've seen the neighborhood definitely go through.
yeah,
I've been
yeah.
with my wife since we've been 20, so or she's more like 17, but
Yeah, dude, I noticed significant change, man. Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously, I didn't go out too much, but the times I did go out, I did notice stuff, and then lately, I'm just like, wow, can't believe stuff changed.
yeah, no, definitely. And shout out to my wife too, because she really does help me, supports me in my art thing, which is definitely a huge, huge like it makes all the difference sometimes
Yeah,
being an artist, especially an introverted artist, to have somebody in your corner that understands what you go through being a creative. Because sometimes it doesn't make sense to people.
yeah,
Like, well, why do you got to stay up all night to do this?
yeah.
Just because that's when it happens. Like
Dude,
that's
right? I don't know why my mind goes into like this third eye at night, but
mm,
in the morning, I'm like slumped or sleep. I don't know. I
yeah.
don't know how to explain it.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I've got my finger on. I don't have the 100%, but I don't think it has a part to it. It's because like after a certain point in the day, everybody else goes to sleep, and now you know that you're not going to be bothered by anything else in the day. A bill isn't going to come in. A person isn't going to
Knock on your door.
knock on your door. The kids coming home from school aren't going to come screaming by the window or whatever it might be.
Asking for
All those
food.
distractions
Yeah.
are all gone, and you can just be left to your mind. But that's where I think that comes from.
Yeah, I totally got lost, man. Yeah, 'cause for me, yeah, that shit was kicking in a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, no, I'm lit.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, we did about an hour and 30 minutes, man. Take about like 10 minutes out. So
Oh yeah,
120.
very
Yeah.
nice.
You got anything else for us, man? Anything you want to talk about, or anything you can talk about? Anything you're coming
Uh,
out with?
Other than the things that obviously can't wait for the Soy Doom show, October 16th. And the show Screw City Uprising, September 25th. Pig Iron Pubs, September 18th. Yeah. uh, yeah. Other than that, just check me out. Tune in to my Instagram and my Facebook at Chris Geebus1, and I've got a lot of projects in the work that are like really close to being announced. It's just that it's all that little waiting. I'm like right in the middle of those periods of being able to start announcing something or back to the drawing board, whatever it might be. So it's like that really anxious time to be able to whether I can or can't tell people stuff yet.
Yeah, no, I definitely was at that time, but yeah, my dog got sick, so dude, like, so none of this was planned. Like me, the post you saw, bro, like that was not planned. Like I was gonna donate whatever I got from the art pieces if they sold to like a foundation for pets or mental awareness. But my dog got sick. We took her all around Rockford to try to get surgery. Man, everybody was taxing, bro, like thousands of dollars to get rid of the uterus because it was infected
Hmm.
and stuff.
Yeah,
And so we found, by the grace of God, bro, the one on Freeport guys, Freeport Animal
yeah.
Hospital,
No,
man,
that's awesome.
dude, for 300, bro, compared to like the $3,000 to $6,000 we're gonna waste.
Wow.
So, and the thing is, bro, I'm talking about it because, dude, they're little as hell. I don't know if you ever heard of it or been there, bro. They're little, bro. It seems like a, a foundation or somewhere where people go where, if you don't got that much money, they'll help you,
Right, right.
because it's only a staff of three receptionists and then two old doctors. They look like they just do it, in their spare
Because they
time.
care.
Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
dude, and I was just like, holy shit, just look at the spot. I feel like they need stuff because my mom, she got them donuts that day when we got her.
Right.
And I was just like, man, I feel like because I was gonna donate, might as well donate to that spot, because they saved my best friend, man, and I'm
Yeah.
internally grateful,
Yeah.
bro.
No, that's awesome. That's
And
super awesome.
yeah, and the thing is, I wasn't gonna announce nothing until like the actual shows because the 10th, I gotta take some of those. I don't know what they are, like 8 by 12, uh, to like City Hall or something. And then the other ones, I got some other ones that I was gonna show at the Heritage, and yeah, all that was gonna get donated. And
Yeah.
then all the extra stuff I have, if anybody sees anything they like, definitely contact me.
Yes.
Because, well, yeah, man, I'm just trying to show some love, like I said,
Oh yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah, because I don't need no money, all the money I'm charging, that's the stuff's for the supplies. I'm not charging no artist fee, Every, like, this, I put $60, bro, because those rims are 3D custom printed. They cost me like about $28. The kit, it was about another $24. The glass, I'm just adding everything up just so I can give it away.
No,
I'm not
awesome.
keeping no penny, guys. And, like everything, I'm even gonna give some money from out of my pocket.
No, completely awesome.
Yeah. So, and if anybody's interested,
Yeah,
just
definitely check it out.
yeah, yeah,
Definitely pick something up.
yeah, yeah. I mean, appreciate it. Yeah, sorry about that. I have to let it know because I just did a post, but like
Oh, definitely. Yeah, no, keep talking about it. That is an awesome, awesome, like, for them to do that. It's super awesome.
yeah, yeah, man, thank you. I felt like people thought like I'm trying to get something out of people, which I'm not, because I'm literally not making no money, and if anything, I'm actually gonna waste money that I really don't have. But I have a roof, I have food, got my friends, so
No, very cool.
yeah. Yeah, and sorry about that, Jesus. I hope that was
No,
enough.
it's good, man.
Yeah, but definitely follow Chris Jeebus, guys. Definitely check him out. Definitely uh check him out to follow these events because I share I definitely want to take a video of the DDC crew performing.
Yeah, very. Yeah, no, that'd be super awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Screw City Uprising definitely is an opportunity as well. So, you get a chance to come out to Pig Iron Pubs.
Well, yeah, yeah, because I mean, I talked to Will. He said if I could if I get a booth, obviously I gotta talk more about it because I don't know if just my stuff would be enough. I don't know if I need more.
I mean, it's you can always do what you need. The best thing about the reason why it's done more in like a booth style is because you're gonna want like some type of canopy, just because that way you're not sitting in the direct sun all day long. And then you can put up a table inside there and put your stuff up on the table. Some people put up a backdrop, hang stuff on their backdrop.
Yeah,
It's
cause
really whatever you want to do with it.
oh,
But
okay.
a lot of times, especially with artists and stuff like that, it's mostly just put up a table underneath the canopy, so that way
Oh, okay.
nobody's in the direct weather or direct sun. If it starts to rain, you can put your stuff away without getting it rained on.
Okay. Cause when I went there, and they started talking about like all the stuff for it, I was like, oh, I think I'm way out of my
Yeah,
league.
no, you're definitely not. You're
Yeah.
definitely not.
And
Even if you set it up like, and I can show you a few things too. Like even if you set up your models and everything too, just to be displayed and be for people to look at, you can set it up in a certain way to where here's a table you sell stuff, and then here's an area people can walk and see.
yeah, cause
Or even have
like yeah, the stuff I'm gonna display this September, everything's gonna go to to sale because my birthday is the 20th. So
nice.
yeah, this month of the 20th, and I want to donate for my birthday as well. Well,
Yeah.
the idea was to donate, and then all that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but enough rambling, man. Thank you, Chris Jeebus, for coming, man. I know you're extremely
Oh,
busy.
thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, and definitely go follow guys, and stay safe and stay tuned.